Hi, fourth grade. Happy Friday and welcome back. I have been just chilling with my Gnomes. No, that's a bad joke. I have my gnome drawings that we made last class, and we are going to be coloring them today. So I got my twistable colored pencils, so you'll need your colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, you can use crayons or markers. I would prefer you to use colored pencils because of the techniques we're going to be using today and the way we will be coloring them. Colored pencils are the way to go. So collect your colored pencils, grab your little gnome drawing from last week. We made 6 of them. We are going to be coloring them using analogous colors. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to separate my colored pencils into analogous colors. Analogous colors are colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. So I am going to collect all of my reds, oranges, and yellows because those are neighbors. So this could be a set of colors that I use for one gnome. Here on my table I also have greens, so I can look for green, and if I look carefully at the color wheel, I know that green and blues are next to each other. I can use greens or blues, or even yellow is also next to green. But I have a lot of different shades of green in my colored pencil, so I'm going to use this one for my next little gnome. I've got blue, and we know that purple is also next to blue on the color wheel, so I could use that as well as one gnome. But I think because my colored pencils have so many different shades and tones of these colors, that I'm going to keep them together sort of like this. I'm going to use pinks and purples together, and then I've got, let's see what else I have. I'm going to do a gnome that is yellows and oranges maybe, so that could be one. And then I still need to find a few more blues. So I'm gonna keep going through my pencils and collecting my colors, and I'm gonna get 6 different color families. So I will get mine together and you guys can get yours together, and then I will meet you back here and we will be ready to color our gnomes. All right, I separated my colors. I have 6 colors. Now, you might not have as many as I have, so you can overlap. Like if I'm using orange here, I can also use orange with yellow. So you want to make sure they are paying attention to the color wheel, and you are only using colors that are neighbors, so they are next to each other on the color wheel. And you will also need a black colored pencil. So let's get some of these out of the way, and I think I will start with green, since this one's right here, and we're gonna make this little guy green here. So I'm gonna keep the black pencil here. Now for his beard, I'm gonna use this army green color for his beard. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line of this green, and I'm pressing kind of hard all the way, following around the outside edge of his beard. And I'm going to do the same going down this side. So I'm just kind of, it's almost like retracing the line. I'm making it a little bit thicker. So go back here to the beginning. Now I am going to color pressing medium, and I'm going to start to bring that color green in. Now as I get closer to the center, I start pressing lighter and lighter, and this is why we're using colored pencils, because you can really control this much easier than you could, like you can't do this with a marker. So if you only have markers, just do the analogous colors. You'll just have to color it in. You can decide if you want to leave the beards white or add color to them. But I really want you to practice with the colored pencil. So I'm pressing harder at the edges and then lighter in the middle. So when I'm under his nose here, I am barely touching the paper. Now when you're doing it lightly, You can always darken it up, but once it's dark, it's kind of hard to go back and lighten it. So make sure that you're pressing very, very lightly. And then as you get to the edges, you're pressing darker. And then I'm gonna sort of blend it together by going back and forth. So where I don't want to see stripes of color. I want to see it blend smoothly. So this is really great practice to try and blend that smoothly. And there is the effect I'm going for. So you can see it's kind of lighter in the middle and it gets darker on the outside. That adds a little bit of dimension to him. And you can also do that as well on the other parts of his little outfit. And this is where the black pencil comes in. So I am just going to use that black pencil just to sort of go over some of my pencil lines and darken it up. And then I can also use this black to sort of add more of a shadow in there. And that's gonna give more depth to this guy's little beard. So I'm just going along the edge, just like that. And then anywhere you would see a shadow, I'm just gonna add a little shadow, like the bottoms of his feet might have a little bit of a shadow. The line that's in between his legs. The shadow that might be under his nose. Just like that. And then the shadow under his hat. I'm gonna do this line here. And then a little bit of a shadow where the curve of that hat would be, and then just under the edge of the little pom-pom on his hat. So my first little gnome, Mr. Green, is done. Ta-da! He's pretty cute, huh? All right. We are going to do the last 5 the same way we did the first one, and except we'll use different colors. So now I'm done with these greens, and let's move on. Since blue is next to green on the color wheel, maybe I'll do blue next. Maybe I'll make it sort of a rainbow. You don't have to do that. You can pick and choose how you want to do it. Just make sure each one is analogous colors. I don't want to see a rainbow of colors on one gnome. Each gnome has his own color. So this is Mr. Green. Here comes Mr. Blue. So I hope you have a lot of fun coloring these, coming up with some really cool color schemes, and don't forget to add a tiny bit of shading just to give them a little bit of magic, and then be sure to post them on Art Sonia under Analogous Gnomes, and have a wonderful, safe, happy, and healthy holiday break, and I will see you back in the art room in the new year.